is your December 2022 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is your reading for December. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and for all your support throughout the year if you are a regular to the channel. So we're going to wrap up this final month of 2022 and open up with the energy of the Two of Wands. Now, in Sagittarius energy this month, we're illuminating the third house and we're looking for new ways to express what we mean and mean what we say. You know, your language is activated first and foremost from what your physical body is telling you. So before you choose the words or think the thoughts, we want to get really comfortable and familiar in December with really checking in to see what the experience of your physical body is telling you, the sensations, the expansion and contraction, the ease or the heaviness with which you are feeling into what is happening around you. Because as you set these deliberate plans, as the intentions become more clear for you in the month of December, which they will, then you need to know what is like the old story that is just taking precedence because it's always been there, and especially at this time of year where, you know, we can be extra triggered and extra sensitive, and what truly is being represented by the growth and what you've actually been through in the last 12 months. And your body will tell you that. So you may be feeling more anxious in your mind, but there's a sensation of more calm, grounded feeling going on within you. And so this is why it's significant in this first part of December to pay attention and to really think about things in that way, so that as you start to be more intentional about how you're going to be having conversations in December, they are truly reflective of the kind of sacred remembering that's going on within you. I think there's almost this sense for Libra this month of like, I'm remembering so much is coming back to me. There's so much more being activated about me. But it's like, where do I put this? The world isn't geared up for it. The world isn't ready for it. Well, Libra, you have to create the space for it. That's why you're here. That's why you're here having this experience on Earth now. Now, in December, we're going to be welcoming Neptune and Chiron, the healing, feeling planets, both going direct on the 3rd and then the 23rd of the month. And so we get to reimagine some of those creative visions with much more clarity. We also get to reflect upon some of the healing crisis that we've gone through earlier in this year, you know, especially in those times of sort of August, September, October. So, you know, the kind of connecting of the dots and the realization and the integration all coming together in a way that feels easier for you to digest perhaps now than would have been possible even just a few weeks ago. Now we're going to be welcoming a full moon in Gemini, fellow air sign, coming in on the 7th of the month. You've got the energy of the Ten of Swords coming through. So let's talk about this full moon. Well, we need to remember that in Gemini energy, the revelations will be very much around, you know, the words that are being spoken, the messages that are coming through, the misinformation that might be surfacing. But it's also a beautiful opportunity during, of course, a full moon release to let go, to draw a line and to speak your truth and sort of come to an understanding that actually something perhaps is done, it is over, you are ready to move on or to graduate even to the next level of something. And of course, full moons always bring a little drama, with Mars retrograde in Gemini as well. The sort of lower vibe aspect of this, the shadow aspect of the moon coming through, means that, you know, there may be some words spoken or behaviours that are around you that are less than desirable, that you feel a little bit let down in regards to. And of course, again, this season, extra sensitive, extra triggering. This is where we need to remind you that you have to be almost the inner parent for yourself this month. You know, if you're feeling like you're being almost overlooked, discredited, discarded in any way, I think it's an opportunity for you to rise in inner majesty and power. And you have to kind of almost let what is going on with your body again override the criticism. I keep making reference to this because my guides are telling me that, you know, you're going to be able to deal with an awful lot of the resistant thoughts and the challenging thoughts by getting a barometer of what your body is telling you, because it's likely to be the opposite. And that's where you can kind of really put your faith and that's where you can call your power back in, okay? So the full moon in Gemini is also flanked with these two really powerful squares on the 5th and the 9th, connected to Jupiter. There's actually 3 taking place in December. The third one is on the 21st. The reason I'm bringing this up is because when Jupiter's in these harsh oppositions, there's a tendency to want to overstretch, to overcommit, to sort of go to the extreme. Remember, Jupiter will amplify anything it's gazing upon. And so when we think about that, and then we have this sort of hype of this full moon with some misinformation, there's a tendency to sort of blurt things out, or to commit to things, to say to things, say things that you don't mean, or perhaps hear things that others are committing or promising that perhaps within your heart, they're not going to follow through with either. And so there's just that little bit of a heads up to be mindful of it. Now, Jupiter's still in Pisces right up until the 20th, and it's then going to move back into Aries. And so, during this month of December, it has the opportunity to be an incredibly wise teacher for us, but also benevolently bringing in some beautiful gifts. And this is the season to be super open to the miracles. You've got falling feathers all around you here. Sacred rest and pause is required. You're going to need more time than you think you do. Hear me when I say that. You will need more time than you think you do. So whatever has got, priority, or you have in the plans, just keep that firmly front and center stage, so that you don't overcommit, or you have a little bit of extra wiggle room if you need it, right? That's going to be important. The sacred pause here, the rest time, also helps you to think about the ways in which you can actually feel into the fulfillment of what it is that you're asking for. There's a strong emphasis around the reminder in December, I suppose, for Libra, that you're not seeking more, you're seeking meaningful, and that there's a transparency that's required from that perspective. But to find that transparency within yourself, it might need to mean that you just take a step back from someone or something just to get perspective. And again, I think that will also go a long way to ensure that you don't end up overcommitting or overstretching yourself into something that you later may regret. Now, we do have Ceres, the asteroid goddess, shifting into your sign on the 18th, which is beautiful. Ceres comes in with this gentle, nurturing, nourishing, mothering archetypal energy. And of course, in your sign, she wants to harmonize situations, in spite of any conflict or chaos. She's helping to teach how to find that balance. And there's a strong emphasis around finding the beauty within as well as externally. And it's important because as you are really considering the way in which you have been talking about the things that you want, you may well be getting some highlights from the universe. A little highlight reel might be coming back to you through December about the ways in which perhaps there's been some self-sabotage, or you haven't really been as compassionate and kind to yourself as you needed to. There's maybe been a little bit more judgment and criticism that's come to light. So it's a good opportunity, I think, with that goddess energy working with you through the course of December to kind of really balance that back out. Remember, I do the goddess reports if you want to find out how Ceres sits in your own personal natal chart and the ways that you can work more meaningfully with those energies. Souls meet, and it's been planned long before the physical encounter ever takes place. And my guys just said to me, sacred exchanges. So underway this month, and we've got 6 of Cups here, so it's like a kind of reuniting. Now, the reuniting, of course, may happen with people who you already know in this physical lifetime, and we do have Mercury retrograde, by the way, at the end of the month on the 29th, so be aware for that shadow coming in mid-month. But this sacred exchange is also talking to me about souls that are connected to you from many lifetimes, and that knowingness, that agreement that's been made to reconnect in this timeline, to explore, to revisit, to further evolve, different themes is really highlighted in your reading in December. So for me, it's going to be interesting to see the type of individuals that may be showing up for you this month, and how these kind of sacred exchanges may involve you, almost like having this profound kinship, this deep sense of deja vu, this kind of knowingness that there's a familiarity to somebody whose path you cross, and to whatever degree they are meant to act as a catalyst, or show up for a reason, a season, or for a lifetime, it matters not. But the fact that these sacred exchanges are coming through is also helping you to resolve and to heal something at a deeper level. And as we move into Capricorn energy, 4th house, of course, you're going to be really looking toward that inner emotional landscape, towards the inner parenting, if you like, and reconnecting to that inner child, to make sure that you can, in a way, come to terms with some of the key things that this year has taught you, so that as you embark on a brand new chapter in 2023, you're taking the wisdom gained rather than the heaviness of the experiences and the mark that they may have left on you in different ways. So 6 of Cups, interesting. You are going to be deeply reflective and looking back, of course. And in my Sacred Soul Support this month, we've got a really beautiful 2022 Soul Review, Light Body Graduation. And in the shadow, we're going to be talking about scarcity and the way that it can affect us, mind, body and soul, and some soul soothing to support you. So you can check that out again in the comments and description box underneath. And they're a way to just complement the soul stories and give you extra support as you navigate your own journey. So we've got the King of Cups coming in here, and yes, maybe water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But what I'm really feeling here is that the emergence of this huge presence of the King of Cups holding the ship, it's like holding you safe, taking you up and out of the water that feels treacherous or a bit challenging to navigate. And something about them saying it's not quite your time, but almost. Yeah, so that could feel frustrating, and we know that Mars retrograde is bringing those feelings up. So you might be thinking, it's the end of the year, there's an urgency, I haven't achieved this didn't come together, why is this unraveled right now? And yet I feel like there's an air of protection here, and there's this kind of need to feel out the energy of situations. Again, your body will tell you. So if you feel like you're getting a no, I'm going to kind of encourage you to check in with yourself and realize that it's more like a not yet. Okay, so there's an important timing aspect here. And there's a lot of grayness going on. And I feel like it's almost the situation, the environment, the energies surrounding something for you. They don't have the color, the vibrancy, the energy that would do justice to you, what you have to offer, what you are vibrating, what you are radiating at this moment. So trust in the cosmic divine order of events right now, because what we want is to give you a stage where you're going to shine brightest. And however that translates, whether it's about what's going on in relationships or into work environments or family, whatever it is, just keep that in mind. Okay, this is not a no, it's a not yet, and there's a specific reason why that's happening. And part of this is about the evolution of your spiritual mastery, and it's about recognizing your emotional experience. And this is a time to really consider and to go back over all of the things that you've learned through the course of this year, and put them into practice, and then amplify them, because it's not really about time, it's just about alignment at the moment. So use that moment to have the sacred rest, to take a step back. Yeah, and it's interesting, we have beautiful energy of solstice coming in this month on the 21st, this turning point, celestial stillness, and it so levels us. Yeah, it really helps to ground our energies, and there's a quietness that comes with that. And yet it's then flanked by this crazy, excessive, frenetic, overwhelming, triggering holiday season, right? Which, yes, has moments of blissful joy and lightness for many, but for others it can be a tough time. And it's that direct conflict that exists within us that says, everything in my being kind of wants to hibernate right now, and yet I'm being forced to kind of be in situations where it feels the antithesis of that. So the Four of Cups comes in and says there's apathy here. There's almost just like, I want to disengage. I don't feel like a part of this. It's not feeling like it's representing me. And, you know, it might not just be the holiday season, it just could be something that's going on for you right now. And again, there's perhaps this slight impatience in terms of, well, if it's not coming together and it's not happening, then sort of what's the point? But the point is that we realize in seeking the truth, in coming to terms with the why do we want it in the first instance, why are we trying to manifest this, what is it about this that we feel is so significant and important to us at soul level, that's where you kind of have the key to unlock something deeper about this manifestation, about this process, about what you're supposed to be learning, so that you can kind of graduate and move through and draw a line with something. And it's really important that you give yourself opportunity to reflect on that, Libra. It's going to make a big impact on you this month. Now we've got the new moon in Capricorn coming in just after solstice on the 23rd. Look out for my solstice activation, by the way. It'll be a beautiful journey to take with your sacred rituals. So the new moon coming in Capricorn, same day that Chiron goes direct. And it almost feels like, okay, I feel like I've sort of dealt with this. I feel like I've come to terms with something. And then it's almost like you're giving yourself permission. And there's a powerful intention created around that energy, even if it's not something that kind of gets off the ground or gets moving until, I want to say, sort of almost like mid-January. But there's like a sense of clarity that's coming for you. And there's some short-term requirements that will come up around that, yeah? So you might need to make some plans or adjustments to an approach or to who you engage with or to what happens to kind of enable this idea, this new vision, this intention to get off the ground. But I feel like all the way through the holidays, it's sort of at the back of your mind, it's at the back of your mind. So just keep that with you and know that, again, you're being given these really beautiful, powerful signs celestially all the way through the month of December. I think for you, there is this sense of like observing and watching all of this sort of intensity of different emotional experiences playing out with people around you. If you're not careful, it'd be very easy to get sort of consumed in that. Especially with Mercury retrograde, the misunderstandings can be really extreme. And with that Gemini full moon, it feels like it could be a bit off the chart. So we don't want to end up in situations where, you know, we cause irrevocable sort of damage to things, to connections, to situations. And, you know, I know your higher self is going to be guiding you in the right way in regards to this. And I think you do just have to sort of take the high ground at some moments and sort of choose as to when you want to communicate what your truth is, just to support your balance and your harmony through this conflict and chaos that might ensue. Now we have fire dragon energy working with us this month, these beautiful elemental beings coming in to help transmute heavier, dense energy. And you can really invite them into your aura to help cleanse and clear. And I love working with these fire dragon energies. They help support this sort of sense of inner majesty and really claiming what's yours. And I think it's important that you reflect and give credit and acknowledge the ways in which you have powerfully moved yourself forward in what has been a very intense, fast, challenging year. So we've pulled the last 3 cards, Libra. If you're new to the channel, you can find deeper insights in our extended reading. We'll talk for another 30 minutes for this month with some extra readings I'm doing, and we will just give you deeper insight into December. I'm just going to invite you to think about a personal question that might not have come up in the main spread right now, and we will also cover this off for you. All the decks that I use are listed in the comment and description box underneath. So let's just clarify this main reading, and it will give us a clear indication of the direction we're going to be taking this. Sometimes surprising things come through or further amplify the messages we've already talked about. 2 of Wands bringing in judgment. It's been a strong energy showing up in the soul stories for December. You've also got the Lovers, Knight of Wands, Sun coming in here, 2 of Swords. Surprise and synchronicity coming through, although you have another 4 of Cups coming in here. Sometimes when our energy just gets so depleted, we can feel a little numb to situations, to ourselves and our emotions even. So you need to keep mindful of where that might be showing up. King of Cups is coming in with the World here. Ace of Swords. Beginnings and endings simultaneously unfolding here. I think that's the confusion is coming, because I feel like you're just like, I don't understand why this is not where I thought it would be or expected it to be. And yet, again, like I said, you're being given almost like this safe passage, which means that maybe there's a delay till we move past that greyness. Okay. Give you a little sneak peek of the reveal there. Four of Wands, beautiful. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards for us now. So this is my deck, Life Soul Vision Oracle. If you're new to the channel and you haven't yet seen it, please go onto my website and check it out. Thank you so much for all of you that have invested and the ones that are sharing their readings and feedback. It's just so beautiful to receive that and to see how it's moving through the collective. What do we have, Libra? Sacred Soul Union. Beautiful. Okay. And let's go ahead and pull your Priestess of Light. So again, I'll cover these more deeply in our extended reading. Calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. Okay. So this month in the extended, I'm also going to be giving you a bit of a preview for 2023 with a message. And if you purchase all 12 soul stories, I've also completed a full love reading, 30-minute love reading for different situations that you can tune into. So that's a bonus, again, if you're coming in for all 12 soul stories. Okay, so our angel card, I'm using the Angels of Atlantis deck here this month. We have Uriel, freedom, beautiful, love that. Okay, a reminder, I also have the angel report, similar to the goddess energies, for you to check out, connected into your personal natal chart as well, Libra. Thank you so much for all your support and for tuning in. I hope the messages resonate for you. I look forward to continuing this conversation if you're joining me for the extended. If not, I wish you a really peaceful, deeply present season, and I'll see you again in 2023. You take care.